We don't often address coins when it comes to art history, but they are an important visual indicator of what's going on. They are ultimately art. Even coins today are art. They give us a sense of the society, of what's going on, of what they find to be important. Now, when we look at coins in the ancient world, you have to understand something called the coin cycle, which is that these coins are in fact gold, silver, bronze, etc., and their value comes from the quantity, the weight of gold, silver, bronze, etc., that's in the coin. As a consequence, every 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, they have to go back through the treasury where they are going to be melted down, reweighed, and as a result, they're going to be restruck. And here we see the striking process where they use dies on either side and they strike it literally with a hammer, creating the image on the front and back, or obverse, in other words, front and reverse back of the coin. Now, typically in the Republic, these coins will have an image on the front of some god, usually a head image, sometimes a whole body, and on the back it's going to have some representation of Rome. Until Julius Caesar, who's of course famous for inventing a salad and, oh yeah, kind of sort of being the first emperor, kind of. It's messy. I'm not going to worry about that at this point. But what we see is an image of a living person. This is the first time it's happening. And we see this denarii, a coin, with the image of Caesar. Now, this is going to be seen previously as in poor taste. It's too close to a king. It's too close to a monarch. And remember, the Romans hate monarchs because of everything that happened with Tarquin the Proud and everything else earlier. Previously, we'd only seen ancestors and divinity, but this portrait becomes really important. In fact, it's important as propaganda, because how many people actually meet Caesar? Almost no one. So this becomes marketing, propaganda. On the front, we see an image of Caesar, and here we see that verism. We see the wrinkles in the neck, this sort of turkey neck. We see a sense of age, a very thin, gaunt person, giving us a sense of wisdom. On the back, we would see an image here, an image of sort of a Roman goddess, in this case representing Rome, and winged victory. In other words, Rome as a mother being victorious over everyone else. This becomes propaganda. And these coins, as they're restruck every 6 months, every year, that propaganda can change. So it might say something like, hey, you know, we're bringing you grain. Or it may commemorate a great battle that happened a short time ago. Or it might commemorate any number of other things. These two examples that we see, clearly with the word Caesar on them, are indicative of battles. The one on the left referring to the Gallic Wars. So this tradition develops, and we see this propaganda, and it's not just going to be Caesar. Caesar Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero, Vespasian, going right down the line of Roman emperors, are all going to participate in this. They're all going to do it because it's really powerful. Everyone has to look at money at some point. And so it becomes really good propaganda. It gives a sense to the people of who you are. These also tend to be very, very accurate. In the case of men, they tend to be veristic, but it does give us a sense, for example, as we've talked about with Cleopatra, that maybe she wasn't the Elizabeth Taylor sort of beauty that we tend to think of her as today. I mean, this is an image of Cleopatra from Roman times with a very bold chin, very large schnoz, nose, not the most attractive person that we've ever seen. It could be improved. I mean, let's be honest. But when we compare it to modern money, we do the same thing. Let's remember, things like "In God We Trust" are later additions to our money supply. The money that you handle today is, the basic design only goes back about 120 years to around 1900. There was a great deal more variation prior to that. And even today, we're constantly changing those images. Think of the state quarters, the presidential dollars, etc. We're constantly redesigning them to get across different ideas to the society. So, very similar ideas to what we do today. Is our money propaganda? Yes. So is the Roman. And the Roman money, if you look at the propaganda on the back, tells us what they were concerned about. Because why would you address something that no one cares about? Generally, you don't. So we get the sense of maybe a famine going on, maybe a problem of employment, or maybe a great victory. They become incredible historical documents.